Welcome to this session about automated driving and the evolution from manual to driverless operation. I'm Rinder Happé, Delft University of Technology, where I investigate the human interaction with automated vehicles. The learning objectives are: what are the levels of support and automation? What are the safety challenges related to transitions of control when the automation gives back control to the driver in critical situations? The car of the future shall be sustainable because we cannot continue driving as we do today because fossil fuels are limited in availability and electric and other sources will be needed. It shall be safe because today we see 1,350,000 fatalities worldwide per year, which is simply not acceptable, while we also see many more being seriously injured, creating a huge burden to society. It shall be connected because you as a consumer want to be online most of the time. But also the car, and in particular the automated car, will benefit from being connected to traffic management systems, knowing where congestion is and possibly even reserving a space for you on the road so that you can drive without delay. And it will be automated, and that doesn't mean that all cars will be automated always in the near future, but there will be different levels of automation, which I will explain later. All this will create a landslide in the design of vehicle interiors, accommodating a wide range of things that we will want to do inside the car when using the automation. In seating, how do we want to support the occupant to do what he wants to do, like operating computers, and the perception of being driven and being comfortable and feeling safe in the automated car. In automated driving, we see evolution. We see the cars that we know so long, the passenger cars and the trucks, which have already been equipped with automation of speed, cruise control since like 15 years. Automated steering is on the road in many cars like the Teslas, and some levels of guidance in steering is available in many more cars. But today these systems are not so safe that you as a driver can fully rely on them. So today automation still needs a capable driver with license, monitoring the road and being ready to take action when the automation reaches its limits. But in the future this will be different. The cars will be so safe that you can engage in other activities when using the automation. Automation is mainly developed for highways now, but will be in the future also be suitable for rural and urban roads. But even while automation is not operational in cities today, the technology already helps and saves lives, where the sensors of automated vehicles and the actuators, while not providing automation in cities yet, can already intervene when a driver fails to react. We have automated emergency braking available in many recent cars, which does take action, for instance, where you fail to recognize a pedestrian. That was the evolutions, the cars that we know so well, but there is also a revolution, the driverless vehicles, which have been designed from day one without steering pedals. The user just selects a vehicle and the destination, and these systems are already operating in a range of pilots or small studies worldwide, where they operate on constrained routes at low speeds. And these vehicles are, of course, intended to work without driver on board, because that will save a tremendous cost. If you look at public transport costs today, more than half of the cost is associated with the driver. So if we can drive public transport without a driver, there is a huge economic benefit. But today in these pilots, generally there is a safety steward on board to intervene when needed. But the future is driverless public transport, taxis, buses, all kinds of vehicle sizes to really contribute to our transport system. And all these vehicles will have different automation levels between SAE 1 and SAE 5, where at the top we see SAE level 1 and 2, the lower levels which are available today, where the driver is still responsible, and there is either adaptive cruise control automating speed, or there is automated steering. And adaptive cruise control is common, but there are also a few vehicles where you can activate automated steering without activating the cruise control. But again, it is rare and people do rarely use it when it is available. So SAE level 1 is mainly the adaptive cruise control, which we know so well. Level 2 combines the automated speed and the automated steering control, which is available in Teslas and many other cars today. But all these systems still keep the driver responsible to watch the road and intervene when needed. The real interest, the real transition comes with level 3, which is near market introduction. Daimler has received permission to launch its vehicle in Germany at SAE 3 level this year. And we will soon hear whether those cars are actually handed over to consumers and how they experience them. And here the driver will be allowed to take the eyes off the road, but he has to be ready to take back control when requested. Which means that the car may decide that in certain cases the sight is not suitable, like there is snow on the road so that the car can no longer see the lines on the road, and will ask the driver to take back control. But in other cases, like leaving the highway, the car will also ask the driver to take back control. In SAE 4 this may also happen, but if the driver does not react, the car can handle every situation. And that means that the driver is no longer a part of the safety assessment of the vehicle. And I think that next step, that SAE level 4, is the real attractive step where we will have real benefits from automation and can guarantee the safety. SAE level 5 is the same, but now suitable not only to drive on highways, but to drive on all public roads. Much more information about this is found through the link, and if you're interested, please study this very important document. So what are the human factors challenges of the hands-free automated car and the driverless vehicles? For hands-free, the first challenge is to make those vehicles so safe that we can take the eyes off the road. The next challenge is to deal with transitions of control. Is it safe when we ask the driver to take back control, and how much time does he need to do that? And the third challenge is to redesign the vehicle towards an ergonomic workspace where we can do all those things which we really want to do when being driven. For driverless, there is challenges with remote supervision, which we hear from consumers really helps in the acceptance. If you as a human know that a car is solely controlled by artificial intelligence, this can make us scared and not so trusting. But if we know that in the end there is a human responsible that we can talk to somewhere in a control room who can stop the vehicle, we can provide assistance, this will reassure and help in the acceptance of automated driving without capable driver on board. Very important in the acceptance is the perceived value, the acceptance. Will we feel safe? Will we feel comfortable? Because only if the automated car is truly adapted to the consumer needs, it will be a success rather than a technology push. So can drivers take back control safely after using automation, in particular with SAE level 3 or higher when they have the eyes off the road? Well, there have been hundreds of studies to investigate that, and basically what those studies show is that the behavior and the performance of the driver in the takeover is unpredictable. People brake or steer, and sometimes in the same condition they first brake and in a repetition they steer. So how they react is very different. The speed of reaction is very different, and you can see in this graph that in manual driving, of course, the speed of reaction, the intervention time is shorter than when being disengaged from the driving task using automation. But the variation is the big concern, because sometimes people react very precisely in 3 seconds, and sometimes they do not react in like 10 seconds, which may be critical for safety. And we also see collisions and road departures. So there is indeed a problem when we ask drivers to take back control. But we can predict the risk, which then depends on the time budget, where obviously if we give the driver more time, it will be safer. If we make the traffic situation more complex with many other vehicles nearby, where you have to make a lane change across other lanes, it will be less safe. So probably we shall not do that. We shall not ask drivers to take back control and immediately merge into another lane. Repetition makes it safer, and age doesn't make it safer or unsafer, but changes the behavior. Because we elderly drivers, we brake more often, while young drivers very often steer around obstacles without reducing their speed. So we can take this into account in the design of the automated vehicles, where we see here in this graph a model which predicts the risk. And if we know the risk, we can decide not to give back control to the driver, but instead make the vehicle perform a minimal risk maneuver like stopping on the emergency lane. And then, of course, we'll effectively have SAE level 4, which to my view is the main solution. A recap, we have seen the characteristics of the future car. There will be many types of vehicles and automation levels. Support and automation will be provided, and vehicles will operate in manual operation on certain roads and higher automation on other roads. And there are indeed huge safety challenges related to the transitions of control, whereby I think the final solution will be that vehicles can deal with all situations safely, bringing us to SAE level 4. Thanks for your attention to this MOOC.